than Ava is because Ava, for the longest time, still didn't stay logged in, and I
Oh
just
my God,
stay
she's
logged
late.
in
It
all the time.
depends on what clock you're looking at. And apparently, I don't have any two clocks in the whole house that have the same time on them.
Oh, jeez. And that is one good reason to have a phone.
Oh, hush. The phone. I gotta do that. I still have to get a phone this month, don't I? Oh my God. Thanks for the reminder. Oh my goodness. So let's get this party started. I will remove that. Hello, guys. How are you today? So,
Good you?
who do we have
Yeah, not
around
bad.
today? Anybody who's got stuff to read, please come on into Raid Call. If you don't have that number, I will do a copy paste right there. That's the Raid Call group. You will have to apply, and then I have to accept it. So there we go. So today we were talking about opening lines, those hooks, and we mentioned a little bit last week about the idea that our opening line is a promise. We're promising kind of what's to come for the rest of the story. Did I grab... Well, I grabbed some very different ones here, but not all the kind I would have liked. I just snagged a few books off my shelf out in the hall here, and I thought we could look at a few of them and what you get. And I've collected a few opening lines that are considered famous and fabulous and whatever. If you're going to have a thriller, you got to start with something like slamming people in the head. You can't start out having a quiet, cozy little two ladies having tea. If the rest of the, well, you could, I suppose, if you did something to really, dig some tension in there while you were doing it, if we were wondering if one of them was being poisoned or something. But however you start your tea, however you start your tea, however you start your book, that's kind of the promise to your reader about what's to come. And there's sort of a classic example, if you guys do any reading about how to write books or whatever, they say, if you've got in the very first part of the book, you've got somebody taking a loaded gun and stashing it in the closet, yeah, at some point in the book, you got to get the gun out, because people are going to be thinking about that gun the whole time. Well, she could go get the gun. It's okay. She's got a loaded gun, so you've got to pay attention to what you start with and follow that through. I collected, you know what, I got some books. P.D. James, don't know if you guys have ever heard of her, but she is absolutely, The Children of Men, I think you guys mentioned that last week. She's amazing. She's got a bazillion books out, and she's always great. And this is just a murder mystery. Dog, stop it. Now Bella's trying to chew on my books. The corpse without hands lay in the bottom of a small sailing dinghy, drifting just within sight of the Suffolk coast. It was the body of a middle-aged man, a dapper little cadaver. It shrouded a dark pinstripe suit which fitted the narrow body as elegantly in death as it had in life. Wow! I love this lady so much. She's so good. Robert Heinlein, Stranger in a Strange Land. There's a classic, Once upon a time, there was a Martian named Valentine Michael Smith. A Martian? Valentine Michael Smith? I mean, great name. You got to read that, right? The Old Man in the Sea. He was an old man who fished alone in a skiff in the Gulf Stream, and he had been gone 84 days now without taking a fish. Oh, you get this little old guy in the Gulf Stream and no fish, and oh my gosh, lots of things going. Yeah, I know, right? Gone with the Wind. Oh, I love this sentence so much. We think of Scarlett O'Hara. Excuse me, my dog. Bella, will you please not do that? She's trying to get into the guinea pigs to play or something. I don't know. Stop it. Scarlett O'Hara was not beautiful, but men seldom realized it when they were caught by her charms as the Tarleton twins were. So we think of Scarlett O'Hara, this beautiful, and she wasn't. She was good at making you think she was. You get so many things. Bella, para. Caroline Graham, Written in Blood. I love this lady so much, so much, so much. Afterwards, talking to the police, no one could quite agree as to who had put forward Max Jennings' name. One or two people thought it was Amy Lydiard, who was sure it was her friend Sue Clapton. Sue disagreed, suggesting Rex St. John, St. John, who said it certainly couldn't have been him because he had never heard of the man, let alone read his book. And it just go, you know, immediately you've got all these people and you've got a sense of the relationships and, you know, how we get into these conversations. We're not paying attention to what's going on and why it was important, you know, to put his name forward. The Mists of Avalon. Again, Marion Zimmer Bradley, an amazing writer. Yeah. In my time, I have been called many things. Sister, lover, priestess, wise woman, queen. You know, that's a lot of stuff. Sounds like an epic story. Look at the size of this. Pretty much is an epic book. So, first sentences. You guys got some?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Okay, go for it. Ladies first. Read something.
I did one for the story that I've been working on, and then I did 2 randoms because I couldn't come up with 2 more versions
Awesome.
for that story.
That's good.
I'll start with that one. It was a warm June evening, the moon high in the sky. The window was open for the breeze as the little girl slept. As she slumbered the hours away, the clock downstairs chimed. 1, 2, 5, 8, 12 times. As the last toll rang, the midnight hours began. Throughout the house, the stillness was broken, but nowhere so much as the little girl's room.
Awesome. So, yeah, this little kid's sleeping, and then the bell, and midnight. That's always a time that kind of makes us go, ooh, pay attention a little bit. And then the stillness was broken, but more in her room. Or okay, how come? Why? What's going on? What's about to happen? So, oh, yeah, that's good. It's really good. Marion is one of my favorite authors. The Darkover, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Holy, took 5 minutes for the Twitch chat to let you log in. Oh, that's no good.
Oh.
People are having problems. Yeah, no, that was great. So you've got to, I mean, when you've got children, our emotions are always going to be a little bit heightened. I mean, there's this biological imperative that we take care of our children. And, you know, whether society, whether we're parents or not, there's always something, if a kid's involved, or just a little more, and then you're saying that something is going wrong in her room. It's like, okay, creepy crawly. I like it. That's really good. That's really good.
Or is there something wrong going on in her room? See, that's the thing. You don't know, you assume.
Exactly, which is what raises the tension and gets us, you know, emotionally involved. So I like it. That's good. Aver, I've had a baddish day. Don't maybe take it out on your fleeing eye. Well, now there's an opening. There's an opening right there. I'm having a baddish day. Don't make me take it out on your fleeing eye. It's like, okay, I want to read this book. What's she going after him for? Oh my goodness. So, Jazz, you're in the call. Did you have something you wanted to read for us? Or did you have another one, Wicked? I'm sorry. Did you manage to get a couple more?
Yeah, I do have all 3.
Okay, go ahead and read those 2 then.
Okay. Here's the second one. I could hear the dogs howling in the distance. The ground was wet and cold, and frankly, so was I. I never should have trusted those guys. What was I thinking? A couple minutes of listening to the dogs getting closer made me realize that I better keep moving.
That's awesome. Again, 1,000 sentences. You've got a sense of her feelings, the setting that she's in a little bit. There's some tension going on. We're in her head already. That's really good. Okay, you're really good at this opening hook thing, girl. That's nice.
I don't feel like I am.
Well, yeah, these are openings that you're wondering. Your brain's starting to go, and you're going to keep reading because now you want to find out why. I mean, absolutely. That we only keep reading to find out why. If we have all the answers, that's, you know, whatever. We're not going to do that. So, and you have another one. Go ahead. Aver Kamen's going, another one, Wicked. Don't stop.
Okay. I awoke with a start, my sleepy mind telling me guns were being shot. Instead, it was only a knock on the door. No matter how hard I try, I can't forget. Never forget that day.
Oh, yes. Okay, it's just a knock. They're thinking guns, there's stress, there's tension, and they can't forget. And you'll go, whoa, what day? What happened? That's actually really good. Okay, so you're good at this opening thing. I like it. Very nice. Yours are better than mine. I've got a few here, but yours are better than mine. Absolutely.
I doubt it.
So, Tommy, did you have some first opening lines for us?
Yes, ma'am, I have all three.
Okay, read the first one.
Okay, I wanted to forget about her, my love whose name I had erased from my mind, but whose scent was still in my nose and filled my mind with memories of warm flesh, of embraces and kisses and her arms wrapped around me, and nights full of happiness. I still felt her warmth, even though her words had long grown cold. Now married to the man that tried to kill me, she wouldn't even look at me anymore.
You're not old enough to be having. I love the scent still in her nose, in his nose. It's like, yes, that's awesome. Tommy, that's brilliant. That's good. I mean, you've got a lot going on, and then the man that tried to kill me, and it's like, oh, there's things we need to know. Now and again, you guys are setting up a lot of things. There's a lot of promises in all of these openings, and that's why they're good. There's a lot of promises there. Yeah, essentially, her eyes bugged out when you got to married the man who tried to kill me. It's like, where would you go from that relationship to, oh my goodness gracious, lots going on. Very nice. So read us another one.
One second, sorry. Okay. The second one, my tears had long gone dry, like the bud caking around their flesh, making dark rivers over the rotting landscape. Their faces, what remained of them, had a shadow of dread, every single one of them, the murdered and the murderers.
And again, lots going on. That your head doesn't even know where that story's going, but you're thinking, the emotions are getting kicked in. The murdered and the murderers, how these people are looking, and what's going on, and you're going, okay, what's the setting? Would it be here? Would it be there? Would it be there? We got the little wheels just going, lots of drama, lots of tension right away. Very nice. And you have a third one too?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, my third one. I did not belong to the people of Cathvale. I was too consumed in life, too depressed, my arms not welcoming enough to be decent. My heart was a crumpled thing. They called me the bringer of death, much to my discomfort. That's it.
And again, there's so much promise. We've got an idea of the inner conflict of these people. He's called the bringer of death, but he doesn't like it. Yeah, Wicked is saying this and start for your age. Seriously, and you've said this before, and I know people have said this to you before. You're like an old soul in there. Yeah, that's beyond your years, absolutely, and it's good. There's the bringer of death, really, really nice, and the fact that he doesn't want to do that. Instead of having, I've read some stuff other kids have sent me over the years, and it would have been more like, I'm the bringer of death, I'm like Mighty Doom, and they go off on the macho thing, and you've just taken a whole different slant. That's really good. And somebody's asking, Tornado, are you planning on being a writer?
Yeah, actually, yes. Because of you.
Because of me. Oh my god. Well, I hope you like writing. Writing is hard. You got to be willing to spend a lot of time by yourself, but you've certainly got some talent there. Absolutely. Okay, Jazz has popped some stuff up, so I'm going to read it before other chats go up. So, everlasting raindrops as thick as blood caress the pavement, erasing the beautiful moral the children of Frockley had spent days mural, I guess, the children of Frockley had spent days laboring over. The destructive rain destroying all the desolate creations on the road, leaving a clean slate for the new children tomorrow to paint with colors of love. Unfortunately, the Queen had banned art, and the children were left to rot their brains out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we've got, this idea that kids are out there doing stuff, and then this torrential downpour is just slashing it all away. There's violence and a lot of action in what's going on. And then we get this line where, it's a clean slate for new children tomorrow to paint. And it's just like, wow, it's like, oh, okay, that feels better. That feels better. So we can, they can start over again. Unfortunately, the Queen had banned art, and the children were left to rot their brains out. And I essentially said it's evil and dark and sad and funny. It's awesome. So now sometimes I'm gonna, and I just want to say this again, and I've mentioned it before. A lot of people in here are writing English, but their first language is something completely and utterly different. And if you write something that